Do you struggle to let go of clutter in your home? Well, you're in luck because today we're going to review the book Nobody Wants Your by Messie Condo here on Get Organized with Jodi. Hi, I'm Jodi Granock. I'm a professional organizer with over 15 years in the field. And like many of you, I enjoy reading books all about getting organized and decluttering. But there's a lot of them out there, so I'm going to make it a little easier for you. And today we are continuing our series with some of my favorite books that deal with getting organized. And boy, this one is a doozy. You can tell from the title where we're going, probably, but this is a humorous take on a serious topic. So it's called Nobody Wants Your The Art of Decluttering Before You Die by Messie Condo, who also has another book that you may have read called Tidy the F Up. So you kind of get the idea of where we're going with the style of this book, and it may not be for you, right? It's not for everybody. This book was published in 2023. It's 192 pages, but it's actually a very small book. So it's a quick read. It's a tiny little book, like you can hold it in one hand. So Missy Condo is a pseudonym. The author's name is Heather Margaret. She calls herself a devoted swearer. Boy, is she. But she's also an organizing strategist. And basically, she chose this pen name to show that her advice was going to be blunt, not polite, and she uses profanity in the hopes that she's going to shock people out of feeling indecisive. So she has written these two books that I'm aware of that are both takes on more popular books, right? So the first book that she did was a version of Marie Kondo's book about the magic of tidying up, right? It was a famous book that came out many years ago. And this book is a take on the gentle art of Swedish death cleaning. So, both of these books are excellent. They both make very similar points. If you want a more humorous take on the topic with some foul language, you could choose Messie's book. But if that type of writing offends you, I would go with Margaretta's book. And if you want to see my review of that book, you can click here in the upper right corner. I've got a link to the video I made talking about that book. But no matter which of these two books you read, and maybe you want to read both, you will find them motivating and inspiring. But let's talk about Messie's take on this topic. The main idea of the book is that the clutter is the result of postponed decisions. And if you aren't the one that's going to make those decisions while you're alive, people who are going to mourn your loss are also going to be the people who are forced to make those decisions for you once you're gone. Because none of us are going to live forever. That's the reality. The author encourages you to focus on the stories and not the stuff. And do your decluttering now to avoid burdening other people later. Again, same things that are in the other book about Swedish death cleaning. It's the same concept. It's just a different style of writing, but it's not all swearing. I will share with you some of the things that I enjoyed from this book without the bad language. So, one of them was when she talks about the 15 benefits of decluttering. See if you agree with this list. So, better sleep and overall mental health, more energy and creativity, deeper appreciation for what you have, more control over your life, easier decisions, clearer priorities, less laundry. Fewer things to dust, which also means fewer allergens, fewer arguments with loved ones, the ability to quickly find what you need, a connection to your space, a sense of accomplishment, more self-confidence, a clutter-free space you can be proud of, and more time, room, and money for what you want. I mean, if you resonate with that, if you're like, hey, that sounds good, how do I get there? This book can help you get there. It just has very frank language. I just want to be clear because I don't want anyone coming back later and saying, Jodi, you should have warned me. So let me share some of the quotes from the author, and then you might decide that this is a good book for you. So some of my favorite quotes from the book are, nothing should take up valuable space 100% of the time for a 0.001% chance that you'll need it. So true. A lot of times we hold on to stuff that we're never going to use, and that is wasted space. It's time to let go of who you used to be and embrace who you are now. That's very important. It's all about living today and not a version of you from the past. So, for example, if you still have, formal business attire and you're retired, then you're not embracing who you are now. And those clothes that you're not using, again, like the other quote, they're taking up valuable space. Just because you like it doesn't mean they'll like it. So, again, this is about having conversations with your family because you should never assume that your friends, family, loved ones are going to want your stuff just because you like it, right? So, talk to people now and find out which things they actually want of your stuff. And if they don't want it, you don't have to leave it for them. And if you're done with it, you don't have to leave it for family members. You can be donating it or selling it now. A thing is not a memory, it's just a thing. Pass down the stories, not the stuff. Those two quotes, I think, really go together. So if you know why something was important to someone, that might be enough, that you don't need the actual thing. You've shared the story. And maybe you could take a picture of something and just have that instead of the physical object. So, I think I've told you a little bit about the book. I encourage you to check it out for yourself and see what you think. If you want to see my list of recommendations for other organizing books and organizing products, you can visit the resources page of my website. And while we're talking about my website, I encourage you to visit organizingmagic.com for more organizing resources, including our free e-newsletter and information about our monthly Zoom webinars, which are also free. And remember that new videos drop every Friday, so be in the know and click like and subscribe before you go so you never miss a single video. I'll see you next time.